All right, let's go, y'all. Without further ado, it's time.
Let's get started, man. Lakers up 5.
Are you kidding me?
Good evening, good evening, good evening. It's Tuesday. First Tuesday in August. You know what that means. It's time for the #1 sports podcast in the world. It's time for Sports for You.
Let's get it.
Live on Facebook and YouTube. I'm John. That's Nick Freeze.
All right.
We got the producer, super producer Ben Ready. And live from Parts Unknown, pause, is the one and only Mark.
So with it.
Thank y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that share button on Facebook and YouTube. If you're listening digitally, subscribe on Spotify, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Stitcher, and Verbal. Lots to talk about. A lot of transactions. This episode is 60. Transaction Tuesday. Because there's a lot of transactions going on in the National Basketball Association. We're going to get into.
Ching ching.
Yeah, a lot of that. There was a lot of bags being handed to multiple players in the last 48 hours. Get you a good agent.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that. We're gonna talk some NFL. This begins our start of our Sports for You two-a-days. Where we be previewing 2 NFL divisions each week leading up to week 1 of the NFL season. And we're going to add a little something different to this year's preview. Each week we're going to predict, who's going to be a leader in a category in the National Football League. So that is go right. But we'll get into that as well. How you guys doing today? You great? Nick, you good?
Man, I can't complain at all.
Mark, how you feeling, man?
I'm as good as I can be under certain circumstances.
Ben Ready, how you doing today, bro?
I was on the streak of doing all right. I'm a little bothered today.
All right, well, we're going to
Word of the day.
Well, let's try to keep that positive energy right now, man. So let's give an update. The Olympics are still going on in Tokyo right now. And obviously we talked last week about one of the huge stories was Simone Biles, who withdrew from the team competition in the Olympics. Well, she has 5 individual competitions that she's also a part of, and she withdrew from 4 of them, but she competed this morning in the balance beam competition and won the bronze medal. So, obviously, we know what's been going on with Simone Biles as she's been dealing with a lot of mental health and anxiety issues as she's, being in Tokyo. There's no fans. Obviously, she's away from her family. But it's just, I think we need to be really careful about how we criticize these athletes when it's talking about their mental health. And Simone Biles is probably one of the greatest that has ever competed. Probably is I'll take that back. She is the greatest who ever competed in gymnastics. So I just want to we're going to put a bow on this story. She competed. She won the bronze. She didn't win the gold. But I'm just happy that she was able to find some strength and mental strength to compete in these Olympics.
Yeah. There's nothing, and, everybody's, I've seen a lot of negative comments about it, about her winning bronze or whatever. But people have to remember this. This is the biggest sports tournament in the world.
That's right.
That's going on. And she got 3rd place. That's a win. No matter what medal you get, that's a win. Because that means you are the 3rd best in the world. Not just in your country, in the world. This is a world tournament.
In the world, Craig.
Come on, man. People gotta think outside the box. They gotta. I don't know. I don't get way people be giving these athletes all this hell about them looking out for themselves. Like, people have to remember these athletes are still people as well.
Mark, what
Yep.
you think about what's been going on with Simone Biles now that she had the chance to compete?
I still feel the same way, whether she competed or not, man. Like, uh, she's human. She has her feelings. She has her, she has to make sure she's right before she go out there. Yeah, we want them to be superhuman and do superhuman things, but that's not realistic, man. Uh, Salute to her for making sure she was right, and salute to her for getting that bronze.
And then,
Yeah, for real.
yeah, I mean, she's got like over 20 20 medals, man. And whether it's been individual or team effort, I'm just happy she was able to compete. What you think, Ben Reddy?
I mean, she set a bar that was high, and she had a bunch of people that was aiming for her. I mean, they based they whole career off of beating her. I mean, eventually, it's gonna be time to pass the torch, So I mean, but she can still come back next Olympics and still kill.
She's only 24, and our people need to realize that she can compete probably the next two
to three
Olympics. There's one I think competing. I think from I don't want to get the country wrong. I want to say it's either Russia or Slovenia, and she's in her 40s competing in the gymnastic competition. So this isn't the end of the road for Simone Biles. She is arguably the greatest gymnast in USA in Olympic history, and she's going to have that legacy whether she bronze, silver, gold, or didn't compete at all. And there's nothing nobody can do about it. Let's talk about some other things with the Olympics. Everyone's talking about the swimming Team USA. What's his name? The guy is Caleb, the representing Team USA.
Yeah.
He's been pretty much. Obviously, we didn't think we'd see another great swimmer after Michael Phelps, but this guy has been pretty much running the whole men's USA swimming, winning multiple gold medals. Katie Ledecky, she got back on the winning side with winning some gold, winning some more medals.
Ooh.
I mean, the Olympics they come every 4 years, so we just gotta appreciate these athletes while they still can compete. Because obviously, we just don't know when the last time we'll see them again. And obviously, the track and field starting this week. So shout out to Allison Felix and all those who represent Team USA out there. Although Jamaica was the Jamaican sprinters.
They're different. They always have been.
Obviously, we thought with Usain Bolt. Oh, wow.
Man, fourth quarter 17.4. Jesus. That's the Lakers in Miami in this California Classic.
The Summer League is officially started.
We're talking about that after the show.
But Summer League is just officially started in the NBA. During the California Classic, we got the Lakers and the Heat. Well, Nick will tell you about it, brother. He'll tell you about it. But Team USA, men's basketball, men's and women's basketball, I should add. Obviously now they're in the medal round. Team USA is going to play Australia tomorrow. You got the women. I think they're playing France or is it Nigeria? But honestly, we all expect them to win. And now the question is being asked about Kevin Durant. And the question is now, I heard Brian Windhorst say this morning on Get Up. Because obviously last night they defeated Spain. They was tied at halftime, and in the second half they coasted. Will Kevin Durant surpass Carmelo Anthony as the greatest greatest U.S. Team USA Olympic basketball player since NBA players have been going to the Olympics in the last 30 years?
He can. The thing I think that he'll have to do is he'll have to be part of like a memorable, like even though he was part of the Redeem team, right?
No, he was 2012, 2016.
He was on that team. So he has to be part of like a team that like stands out, if that makes sense. Like for Carmelo, Carmelo's on a couple of teams that stood out. So, and you already see what he does for international play. And, Kevin Durant does the same thing. But the difference is he's just not he's not part of a team that has some type of popularity. If that makes sense. If he was on one of those teams, that'd help him a lot.
I don't know if he's not past them already.
Why you say that, Mark?
I think like we said inside the group chat before, well, when I put it there, he already passed Melo with the points in 12 fewer games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think that defensively he has done more for the Olympic team too as well.
B, what you think? You think KD can be the number one, the greatest Olympic basketball player in Team USA history?
History?
You think since Team USA since the Dream Team era, that goes from the Dream Team era all the way to
we're not saying he's the best individual
player,
We're
but as
talking
far
about
as success,
the success in the player throughout the Olympic tournament, he most definitely is up there.
When Team USA wins, which we expect they should win the gold, him and Carmelo will be the only two USA basketball players with 3 gold medals.
Wow. Not even MJ?
No, MJ has 2.
MJ has 2.
He has 2. He had one from.
He probably would have had more if they would have put NBA players into the what you call it earlier.
He won in 84, and then he won with the Dream Team.
Yeah, he got one 84 and 192.
Oh well, if that's the case, yeah. I mean, why wouldn't he? He got to have something better than LeBron.
Wow.
I mean, if LeBron was on that trash team that led by Tim Duncan and Allen Iverson, he would have had 3 by now. Or if he would have joined
he was
one
on
of those other teams.
Well, he was on that team. Larry Brown just didn't play him.
Yeah.
LeBron was on the 04 team that
he was like 20 years old, 19, 20?
That was after his rookie year.
Yeah.
It still didn't matter. It's still LeBron, man.
They didn't give Carmelo that much playing time. They didn't give Dwayne Wade that much playing time. They didn't give LeBron that much playing time. All 3 of them were young. That was after their first year, like you said. And all 3 of them had shown they did something in the NBA. All of them shown they was probably like at that time possibly like about top 10 at their position at that time. I mean, obviously they went over there for a reason.
I still think that was a mistake by Larry Brown. You have LeBron James on your squad. You need to find some way to play him.
I mean, even at that time, LeBron was ahead of a lot of those players athletically. Anyways, he could just been the slasher for the team.
So Team USA, obviously the women, they're gonna probably win. Obviously.
Oh yeah, that's easy for them.
Let's talk about some as we're going on. Obviously, we're still in the pandemic and we're struggling a lot, and obviously things are going crazy, and we want to stay positive, stay cautious.
No, we don't want to stay positive.
Oh yeah, that's true.
All right. Wow. So Charles Barkley, he crazy, Mark. Charles Barkley was on HBO Sports with Bob Costas, and he basically said a couple of things I want to talk about.
Oh Lord.
One, obviously, he criticized people who don't want to get vaccinated. Now, let me say this. Charles Barkley has a right to his opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're going to try to encourage people to get vaccinated or whatever, and that's any person's personal prerogative. We can't be condemning them because they're not yet. And I think that's I think that's one of the issues we're having. Not trying to go too deep in the woods, pause on the whole vaccine debate. But we can't be wagging our finger just because we have it and they don't. That don't encourage anybody. That only is going to make someone feel rebellious.
Ain't that what they doing right now with the like certain establishments out here saying like,
yep,
if you don't have proof of vaccination, you can't come in.
Yeah, that's and I understand. And Barkley, obviously, he knows he knew what he was saying. He was on HBO, so he pretty much has no filter. There's no filter there, so he can say what he want. But I warn people, and obviously we're gonna get into the discussion what's going on.
What you expect from a guy?
Well, yeah.
Kiss dick in the mouth.
Wow. Pause.
Wait.
Well,
wait. Wait, huh?
That's the referee's name.
That's the ref's name. What do you expect from a guy that kissed dick in the mouth?
Oh man. Oh.
Uh-oh.
We got some breaking news.
Breaking news.
Hold
Go
on,
ahead.
wait for the music. Hold on now. Let's go.
What's the breaking news?
No.
Free agent center Hassan Whiteside has agreed to a deal with the Utah Jazz.
Oh,
Well,
But they got two of the
God.
same players now.
wait a minute. Who already playing?
Rudy Gobert.
so he's gonna be Rudy Gobert's backup.
Is Whiteside a backup?
He is now.
He is now.
That must be trading power. Some trading.
No, that's him settling. He has no choice.
Oh,
He has
Whiteside.
he has no
He has no choice.
his has no market.
Yeah, he did this
Hassan
himself.
Hassan Whiteside is a diet version of Rudy Gobert.
I think he might be a little bit better.
Get out of here.
Nah, I'll take Rudy Gobert.
Well, right now.
I'd take him at any point in his career.
So back to Barkley. Another thing he discussed was this situation. His friendship, former friendship with Michael Jordan. Obviously, for even people to know, they were pretty much the best of friends,
He wants all the money.
and they had a falling out because obviously during the lockout. Yes. Go ahead and read that, Ben. I forgot to bring that up. Thank you. Read that on the air, Ben. Ready?
okay. We got. Should I do the?
Yeah, that's
Why
huge
not?
news.
Team USA. Tamara Mensah Stock becomes first black woman to win gold in wrestling.
Wow.
There we go.
Shout out.
Let's go. Let's get it.
We're making
She can't.
history. We're making history.
I can already hear what they're saying within the comments and on Twitter. I'm just gonna leave that alone.
Right. But Barkley said his relationship with Jordan ended because obviously he's an analyst on TNT and he felt that he can't, hide his opinion on Michael Jordan's performance as an owner. And he said that Jordan had a bunch of yes men around him. Obviously Jordan didn't like it, and obviously they haven't spoken over 10 years.
Wow. The truth hurts.
And obviously, Barkley took some of the blame because obviously knowing how Jordan is, he didn't give him, a little.
So?
I'm saying right now, and he didn't have to. That's a job.
Let's just be honest. Was he telling a lie?
No, he wasn't. We've talked about all the players that Michael Jordan has missed on in the draft.
Man, we ain't gonna go into that topic again.
I don't know. I feel like there's a certain way you can say certain things, man. Especially when that is your people.
I agree there. I think, but Jordan should know he's known Charles. It's not like Charles just started working for TNT. He's already been working there pretty much a decade.
Not just that. He's known Charles Barkley for a long time. I'm pretty sure Charles Barkley has said something worse than that to him.
And he knows Charles doesn't have no filter. He's not gonna hold back what he's. I know what you're saying, Mark, but and now they've not. Obviously, they haven't spoken in over 10 years. I know Barkley was in The Last Dance, right?
Was he?
I'm trying to remember. I think he was. Obviously,
They show when they beat Phoenix. I think that's it.
That's about it.
Wow. And so
And Space Jam.
So I look at it like this. Obviously, you can't have a bunch of yes men. And I do agree with what Barkley was saying because I think Jordan didn't have the right basketball people around him. He didn't start having that till maybe a few years ago. Obviously, he had a GM named Rich Cho who did a good job. Now he has Mitch Kupchak. But the thing with MJ was he was too busy hiring anybody who was connected to North Carolina.
Yeah.
I'm connected to North Carolina.
I am too. Kidding me? He didn't hire me, but that is.
I bet.
Wow, that's funny. Yeah. Anybody with some type of North Carolina ties or ties that he's had when he was a player, then he pretty much hired them. Which ain't nothing wrong with that, but in the day you running a business, so you got to make sure that you have the right people over there because they've had opportunities to build up good teams even throughout all the bad drafts, and they just couldn't capitalize on it. Every time they have a year they go to the playoffs, they be trash again for like 4 straight more years.
And I want to say, and Jordan always hired black people around him too. So uh, I want to give him a shout out for that. That's never get spoke about. Um,
100% agree.
but but with the Barkley thing, like I said, man, Barkley wasn't wrong. But I also feel like when somebody who you have a relationship with, who you cool with, um, it's a certain way certain things should be said. We just seen that in the last couple of years in hip hop.
Mm.
Tell the truth. Talk about it. Talk about it. We were talking about how his comments about COVID and the vaccine. It seems like there's been a war going on right now between the NFL, and people who don't want to get vaccinated. Like I said, we're not going to go too deep in the weeds on this situation, but let's just call it what it is. So now, about a couple weeks ago, the NFL released a memo, basically telling NFL teams that there will not be any rescheduling of football games because of any COVID outbreaks. Excuse me.
Who was that?
So Roger Goodell said that that if it is proven that an outbreak was caused because there were a bunch of players who did not get vaccinated, that team will forfeit, and both teams will lose a game check. Now, and they're saying this, and now it did sound real controversial, and I was like, man, they're really trying to bully people into getting vaccinated. But then the Players Union came out and said, well, DeMaurice Smith, who's the director of the Players Union, said, this is pretty much the same rules they had last year, except now missing, except with the whole postponement of games. There's pretty much the same rules they had last year as far as with COVID, but now the vaccine. They saying they're not forcing players to get it. Obviously, if you are in a tier 1, which is a head coach, scout, equipment manager, assistant coach, general manager, front office, whatever.
Yeah, they have to have one.
They have to have one because you are obviously tier 1. You're basically have direct contact with the players. You have direct contact, with everything you do. But they're not forcing players yet. But to me, it sounds like they are. But I get what they're saying. But they gotta players. It's simple like this. They just want they're not going to force you to get vaccinated, but they're just saying if you don't, just follow the protocols. We don't want to have no more Tuesday night football. I don't want to see Mark watching the Buffalo Bills on Tuesday night again.
It wasn't wrong with Tuesday night game.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was. It was on Tuesday.
Man, it wasn't wrong with football on Tuesday.
Yeah, it was. Mark, did you have a problem? What you think, B?
I think I'd rather be watching Sports for You podcast.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah, we only be watching sport. Don't watch football on Tuesday. Watch Sports for You. So now the question is, how do we come to a resolution? How do players and GMs and scouts? Because it seemed like we're having a few outbreaks lately with the Washington football team. They had to put 6 players, and obviously Ron Rivera, who we all know is a cancer survivor, he was frustrated. Because one of the and then the fiasco that's currently going on in Minnesota with the Vikings, their entire quarterback room is now in COVID quarantine.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the fiasco that was going on with Royce.
I'll let you and Mark say that. By the way, speaking of the Rock, they said Washington is now finally reached 84%. They was at 60% when training camp started.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. Have some extra people do it.
I'm like this. Y'all have a defensive line. First of all, that defensive line screams danger. Yeah, Chase Young.
The best defensive line in football.
Jonathan Allen, De'Aaron Payne, Montez Sweat.
They still have what's his name too? Ziadana still there, or did he leave?
Yeah, he just got activated off the COVID list.
That's what I'm saying. And he plays defensive tackle, and he's a starter.
So, but in Minnesota, Kelvin Mon, who's the rookie from Texas A&M, 3rd round pick, he tested positive for COVID, and Kirk Cousins and the other backup quarterback, who aren't vaccinated, are considered close contacts. and they're quarantined, so they had to bring in Danny Etling.
Who in the world is that?
Are you kidding me?
Former quarterback from LSU who was drafted, I think, in the 7th round by the Patriots.
When did he play for
Are you
LSU?
kidding me?
He was the quarterback that was there before Burrow.
Yes, him.
Oh my God, he is garbage.
That Danny Etling.
Are you kidding me?
So he.
I might need the other one.
You said Danny Manning?
No, not Danny Manning. They probably wish Danny Manning could play quarterback.
Shout out to Danny Manning.
Yeah. But Danny Etling, because obviously Kirk Cousins isn't vaccinated. So Mike Zimmer, the head coach of the Vikings, he's frustrated. And let me say this from a person who went through this with his team last year. Like I said, I don't condone, I don't encourage people. Let me rephrase my. I am vaxxed, but I'm not gonna push it on somebody. That's your decision. When the Broncos, 24 hours before our game against the Saints, had to put all 3 of their quarterbacks on quarantine. That was Drew Lock, Blake Bortles, Brett Rippon, because Jeff Driscoll, our 4th-string quarterback, he tested positive, and all of them were in the QB room not following protocols. So you know what we had to do? We had to go out there and play with Kendall Hilton.
Isn't he a receiver?
Are you kidding me?
Yes, a practice squad receiver from Wake Forest who hadn't played quarterback since high school. And out there,
What was the score of that game?
we lost. That's all you need to know. We did not score. I think it was like 24-0. And I think Kendall Hilton had like 2 completed passes.
That's not a
Hey, that was
game.
I was kind of like Tyrod Taylor.
No, that Tyrod completed 3.
I was saying he had 3. Actually, it was 4. It was 4.
And
he
he been
was
playing
halfway
quarterback. He been playing quarterback his whole life. All right, man. Anyway,
So let's get into the sports now. Obviously, now the serious stuff is out the way. Let's just say, no, we do care about what's going on in the country and everything.
Most definitely.
Let's start with a little MLB. Let's recap the trade deadline. So MLB trade deadline expired on Friday, and my Los Angeles Dodgers, I said I wanted them to get healthy and I wanted them to get some pitching. And I did not know they were going to go and get one of the best pitchers in baseball. The Dodgers made a move where they acquired former 3-time Cy Young winner Max Scherzer, along with infielder Trey Turner,
all-star.
all-star infielder Trey Turner, for 4 prospects, including their top 2 prospects, catcher Keibert Ruiz and pitcher Josiah Gray.
So y'all traded them. Y'all basically got them for a bag of chips and a pack of Starburst.
Yes. Shout out to Starburst, by the way.
Yeah.
Starburst.
Oh, man.
Oh man, you know how that go.
You know it is. And then, obviously, the Chicago Bears had a fire sale.
Bruh.
Well, Chris
Chicago
Bryant.
Bears?
I mean, Cubs. Nah, they was basically
Fire.
unless it's name Chris Bryant or Javi Baez or John Lester or Craig Kimbrell.
They just giving players away.
All those players who were part of that 2016 World Series team are all gone.
They put a Dallas Mavericks.
So I say the biggest winners of the trade deadline to me, obviously, was my Dodgers.
I'll have to agree.
And it's not just it is not just because they acquired Max Scherzer and Trey Turner.
It's what y'all gave up to get him.
And well, that too. It's because they stopped the Padres from getting them. Because throughout that day, the report was that the Padres were basically at the goal line for trading for Max Scherzer.
I've been a game changer.
And Max Scherzer came out today and said, "Well, that wasn't true."
That's a double shot at your team.
And by the way, Max Scherzer is a Scott Boras client.
Ooh.
So, but I think the
Pay me my
biggest
money.
exactly, and
The biggest loser show is Chicago.
yeah, that don't make sense.
Yeah.
No, it's not. They got a lot of
Well, yeah, they got prospects, but
prospects.
I'll tell you that the biggest loser to me was the Padres.
Yeah, that's real. They missed out on 2 players they really wanted, and their rivals ended up getting them. Yeah, that hurts.
So I don't know what they're gonna do. And so now, what they're gonna do with
I got
that squad? Because Tatis is now on the IL.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. By the way, I heard that y'all were
Hey,
also interested in Scherzer too, Nick? The Angels.
Carmelo Anthony.
Man, look,
Yeah, shout out to Melo.
the Angels I forgot who they made a move, but it wasn't.
Melo at the verses.
He is?
Oh, okay. In his Laker jersey.
Is LeBron there?
Oh, yeah, that is him, huh?
Oh wow, that's him.
I think that's his fight.
Is LeBron there?
I didn't see it.
No, LeBron's still promoting Space Jam.
Well, yeah. No, I mean, yeah, it's the number one movie. What you expect? I mean, number one movie in the world.
Shout out to HBO Max.
By the way, Hard Knocks debuts next week, and
It has the Dallas Cowboys, right?
yeah, and it's only on HBO Max. Yeah, so not gonna be on HBO. It's just gonna be only on HBO Max.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be. Well, I mean,
Well, except for the fact that it's out here in LA. I mean, it's in Oxnard, but that doesn't count. But you brought something in the chat, Nick and Mark,
what's that?
talking about college football.
Oh yeah,
We could be talking some super conferences.
yep. We brought it up last week.
So last week we talked about the story
Shout out to Mark.
with the SEC is invited Texas and Oklahoma to join their conferences because they didn't renew their membership with the Big 12 in 2025. So they're trying to get to the SEC sooner than later, but it's going to cost them a whole lot of money to do it. It was reported today that, matter of fact, it wasn't reported. Bob Bowlesby, who's the commissioner of the Big 12, said he's had conversations with the Pac-12 about them two joining forces and making basically a super conference.
If they can do that and somehow convince, which is going to be impossible, to convince Oklahoma and Texas to still stay for that merger would be insane. That'll be a crazy merger.
I really want to know, why would Texas really want to step in the SEC? Look,
To get
More
dusted
money.
off.
I get it, man, but Texas has their own network, and I heard they have. It's not like they're not hurting for money. They're in a no tax state, and two, they have their own network.
All that plus, when you get to the SEC, now is more money. That's why.
And look, it's not even just that, because let's just be honest. Texas usually gets a lot of good recruits. It's going to be a year where Texas is going to be a very good team, and it's like what I said before. If you're in the SEC and you have a good year, you have a way better chance of making it to the playoffs than if you're in the Pac-12 and have a good year.
That's true.
USC can go undefeated, but if let's say for not even, but if LSU goes undefeated and they're gonna have the choice, they're gonna choose LSU. LSU can even have one loss and they'll choose LSU over USC because the one loss probably be like an Alabama or something, and they'll be like, oh, they lost their game to team that's undefeated, so that's how that goes. I said that before, that the only way a team outside the SEC really has a chance,
right,
is if it's a team like, of course,
Ohio
Clemson,
State.
Yeah, Ohio State. If Ohio State is good, they have a very strong chance of going. Notre Dame, they have a chance of going when they're good.
Notre Dame
You said they shouldn't?
They shouldn't be allowed no more playoffs.
Notre Dame.
I agree.
Obviously, Notre Dame's not joining the conference because, like I said last week, they don't want to give up that NBC money.
Well, you already know I'm not supporting Notre Dame at all, but that's a whole different story.
Well, obviously, we know why you're not supporting Notre Dame.
I could care less about them. They can stay where they at.
Because it's a racist school.
Outside of that too.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Shout out to SC.
Wow. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, that's SoCal, ain't it?
Yeah, SoCal. Yeah, he's a diehard Chargers fan.
I'm sorry to hear that. All right, go ahead.
Hey, yo, Kenzie, man, if you want to go to Chargers practice, holler at me, man.
Yeah, he's a diehard Chargers fan.
Holla at
Let's
me,
go.
man.
Y'all ready to talk some football, gentlemen? Since we already segued there, y'all want to talk some football?
Man, let's get it cracking.
Let's go, man. It's time for this two-a-days, man. Let's get this two-a-days going, baby. Let's get this two-a-days going.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let's get this two-a-days going, man.
What division we start with?
We start North. We're gonna start with the North. So let's first, before we get into the two-a-days, let's talk about some of the other stories in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, let's talk about these Madden ratings, man.
these ridiculous Madden ratings, like they're saying
These Madden ratings. man.
Tyrann Mathieu is the best safety in Madden. Are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah, so the
Man, you don't-
Madden officially released all their ratings. So here are the ratings for. There were 5 players who were rated at a perfect 99. Jalen Ramsey,
Understandable.
Aaron Donald,
Completely understandable.
Patrick Mahomes,
Eh.
Travis Kelce,
Eh.
and Devontae Adams.
Goodbye.
Eh.
Let's start with the receiver. Now we did receivers last. We talked about the receivers last week, but let's recap it. Devontae Adams, I say, he's the number 1 receiver at 99. Then there's DeAndre Hopkins and Tyreek Hill at 98.
I don't think Tyreek Hill's a 98, but that's just me.
Stephon Diggs 97. Julio at 95. Michael Thomas 94. Keenan Allen 93. Amari Cooper 92.
I don't think Amari Cooper's 92. And I'm not saying that because of obvious bias.
Mike Evans 91 and Allen Robinson 90.
I think Mike Evans is most definitely better than Amari Cooper, but I understand. You know what Amari Cooper would be if he played like during the 90s?
Yeah.
He'd probably be like how I'm not saying that the same skill set before everybody looks at me crazy, but like I can see like how like a Michael Irvin role. Like that, get that first down or something like that. He's not really gonna burn nobody. He's a good route runner, but he has suspect hands, not unlike Michael Irvin.
Cowboy fans would love to hear if he was Michael Irvin.
Yeah.
Mark, any of the receiver ratings look suspect to you, my brother?
No, I'm still stuck on the top 2. That's crazy to me.
I can't believe that they have Devontae Adams as high as they do. Don't get me wrong, he's very good, and he's most definitely a touchdown machine, but he also plays with Aaron Rodgers.
They had the Madden guys on the show when I was watching on SportsCenter, and they said the reason he was rated higher than DeAndre Hopkins was because they thought he went up against tougher competition than DeAndre Hopkins last year.
I seen DeAndre Hopkins go against a whole secondary and make a catch to win the game.
Yep.
Which brings me to the cornerbacks, gentlemen.
Oh, no.
As we stated, Jalen Ramsey is the only 99 rated corner.
Who's the second rank?
At number 97, Stephon Gilmore.
Woo. All right.
95, Jair Alexander. 93, Trey White. 95, Marlon Humphrey. 91, Xavier Howard. 90, James Bradbury.
James Bradbury from Carolina?
Yeah, he's with the Giants now.
Oh, he's with the Giants now? Oh, yeah, he's pretty good.
89, Denzel Ward and Kendall Fuller. And then Darius Slay was at 88.
I don't think Darius Slay is that good of a corner no more, but that's just me. I think he should be a safety right now.
Mark, I know you have a problem with one specific cornerback is ranked on this list.
I got a problem with Stephon Gilmore being. He said it was 97.
Yeah, he's the number 2 rated corner.
He's definitely not a 97.
He's number 2 rated corner.
He's a good system cornerback, and he definitely shouldn't be above Trey White.
Well, I don't think Jair Alexander should be above Trey White either, but I digress.
He shouldn't be neither.
He shouldn't be either. Jair Alexander is very, very good.
The only person I can see it is Jalen.
That's it.
I have to agree.
Yeah, and Trey's going to show that basically week 1, and his rating's going to go up while theirs goes down. Pause.
Who they play week 1? That was crazy.
Who y'all got week 1, Mark?
What is it, Jets, I think?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's over.
Yo, he'll have a 99 by the end of the game.
Yeah.
By the way, happy birthday, Zach Wilson. And the GOAT. By the way, shout out. And to the GOAT, Tom Brady.
Oh, yeah. I've got Tom Brady. He's a Leo. Shout out to Tom Brady.
And Todd Gurley. Everybody who celebrated a birthday in August around this time of the year. Shout out.
I don't know about Todd Gurley, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. Safeties.
Go Bulldogs.
That's about it.
Wow. So Tyrann Mathieu number 1 in 95.
No.
We'll be offended the rest of the list.
No.
Hold your opinion. We'll get to the rest of the list. 93, we got Buda Baker.
Oh, my God.
92, Devin McCourty.
Wait, are they saying are they putting safety in general?
These are all safeties.
Oh, so there's not free safety, strong safety.
No,
It's
these
just
are
safeties in general.
Just safeties in general.
All right, go ahead.
So my guy Justin Simmons and Jesse Bates III from Cincinnati at a 91.
Jesse Bates III is a monster.
Jamal Adams and Harrison Smith 90.
Jamal Adams is garbage. Go ahead.
Minka Fitzpatrick, Eddie Jackson, Adrian Amos 89.
Let me tell you something.
Minka Fitzpatrick is 89.
That is disrespectful.
He was. When he got traded to the Steelers, he's game winner. He looked like Alabama Minka Fitzpatrick when he got traded to the Steelers.
Let me tell you something. That dude might be the third best safety in the league.
Yeah, because
this dude, he's a turnover machine. He's just this dude he's crazy. But what you call it is most definitely.
He's a what?
You heard what I said. What's his name? Adams. Jamal Adams is garbage. Have y'all seen this dude in coverage? He is terrible. Terrible.
Don't worry, Kens. You haven't missed the Lakers talk. We haven't gotten to the NBA yet. We're doing our NFL 2-a-days. So chime in.
Yeah.
Don't worry. We're going to get to the NBA. The show is called Transaction Tuesday, so we're going to talk about the bag in a minute.
Yeah.
Well, I think Justin Simmons is the best safety in football, but I digress.
Yeah, I understand why you say that.
Running backs.
Buffalo has the best tandem.
That is true. Y'all do have a good tandem of safeties there.
Pointer and what's his name?
Micah Hyde.
Micah Hyde.
Yeah. So here we go. Running backs.
Ben, relax.
What B say? B
Man,
Nothing.
look. oh yeah, he a fool. He said that earlier. Yo, that's crazy.
That's crazy, man. Okay, so running backs. We got Christian McCaffrey at 97. He's the highest rated running back.
Knock it off.
Derrick Henry and Nick
Knock it off.
McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey.
He's number one. He's the highest rated running back at 97.
Yeah. The dude didn't play like 4 games last year at most.
I would know.
I was about to say you would know.
He was the first pick in our fantasy draft. By the way, we are going to talk fantasy this year on Sports for You.
Most definitely.
Draft coming up real soon. Shout out to the GOAT League. Our league. Derrick Henry and Nick Chubb 96.
I'm sorry. Nick Chubb is most definitely a good running back, but he's not on the same level as Derrick Henry.
Dalvin Cook 95. Alvin Kamara 94. Aaron Jones 91. Saquon 90. Josh Jacobs 89, and then Zeke and Joe Mixon 88.
First off, Derrick Henry should be like a 98.
First of all, Derrick Henry should be the number 1 running back
Easily. He just ran for 2,000 yards
and was the offensive player of the year.
Don't get me wrong. They probably you know something, Mark. They probably got McCaffrey that high because of what he could do with the passing game, but he didn't play all of last year.
I don't care what he can do with the passing game. I seen what Derrick Henry did with the football.
Yeah. What Derrick Henry does as a running back is most definitely like old school. You don't see too many running backs like that anymore.
Right.
Right now he's definitely one of one.
I don't have a problem with Nick Chubb being a 96.
He shouldn't. No, I don't have that problem. I'm just saying he shouldn't have the same rating as Derrick Henry.
Nick Chubb. Go ahead, Mark.
If Nick Chubb is 96,
Derrick Henry should be like a 98.
Yeah, that's exactly.
So you keep Nick Chubb 96, you raise Derrick Henry 98. To me personally, those are the best 2 running backs in football last year, really. I mean, don't forget Dalvin Cook. I like this. Yeah, I have to take that back. Kamara's a 94. They had Dalvin Cook 95.
Why do they have Zeke rated higher than my boy?
No, your boy's rated higher than Zeke.
Okay, cool.
He's 89. Josh Jacobs was 89. Zeke was 80.
Man,
Zeke and Joe Mixon
like an 83 last year.
Zeke and Joe Mixon were both 88s.
They should. Well, that's disrespectful to Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon played way better than he did last year,
and he lost his quarterback.
Exactly,
just like Zeke did. So I mean, we got
garbage, man.
We got the top 20 quarterbacks. But I'm gonna do a 20 through 11. So
I'm about to be very upset about this.
At number 20, you got Jared Goff at 77.
Whew.
19, you got Joe Burrow at 77.
He definitely should be higher than that if he's 77.
18, you got Ben Roethlisberger at 78. At 17, you got Trevor Lawrence. No, that's cold. At 17, you got Trevor Lawrence at 78.
Knock it off. Go ahead.
Y'all gonna be real ticked when y'all hear this.
Go ahead.
16, you got Kirk Cousins at 79.
Look, as long as Kirk Cousins doesn't have a higher rating than Derek Carr, I'm okay.
Well, we're getting close, so you're good. All right, Ben Ready, your quarterback Justin Herbert is number 15 at 80. So you and Kenzie and the rest of the Charger fans, he's the 80. He has the 15th rated quarterback on Madden with an 80 at an 80.
I'd have been okay with 83, 84.
I honestly thought he'd be like an 82.
Well,
I'm gonna be real. He's
I
nice.
thought it'd been like an 83 or something like that.
I need to see his individual ratings too. Okay, so your boy Derek Carr is 14 to 81. Kyler Murray is 82 at 13.
Man, if you don't knock it off, go ahead.
Nigga's not the biggest Kyler Murray fan.
Man,
This will make Sophie's mom happy. 83, Matthew Stafford, number 12. But this is crazy. Baker Mayfield, 84, number 11.
that is the biggest load of BS I've heard all day. He's not
Wait,
better than
Baker-
any quarterback we just said.
Wait, Baker Mayfield better than
They got Baker Mayfield better.
Matt Stafford?
Thank you.
They got Baker Mayfield better than a few people on this list.
Are you serious?
They got him better than everybody who's not in the top 10.
So who's above him?
We'll get to there. We'll get there in a minute. Let's go to the TEs. All right. Travis Kelce, we know, was the only 99.
Mm-hmm.
George Kittle, 96. There was only 3 tight ends who went above 90.
I think he should be higher than that too.
Your boy Darren Waller was 93.
I think he should be higher than that too.
Mark Andrews, 88. Hunter Henry, 87. Austin Hooper and Gronk were 86. Mike Gesicki, T.J. Hawkinson were both 85s, and then Dallas Goedert was at 84.
I'm gonna be honest. Gronk got that rating off his name. He didn't play like an 86 last year.
Repeat
I'm
mental.
gonna be real. He started playing better towards the end of the season a little bit, but overall he didn't play an 86 year.
Okay, so let's go to the edge rushers. Myles Garrett was the highest rated edge rusher at 98.
That's absolutely insane. But go ahead.
Khalil Mack, 96.
Uh,
T.J. Watt, J.J. Watt, and Chandler Jones were all 94s.
How in the world is J.J. Watt a 94 where he only played like about 13 games in 8 years?
J.J. Watson,
Cam
94?
Jordan and Von Miller, J.J. Watt's a 94. J.J., T.J., and Chandler Jones are all 94s.
Now, this is why I said that's BS. Pause. He only got 5 sacks last year, and he played all 16 games.
Yeah.
5
That's on he got that off reputation.
off a straight reputation.
Cam Jordan, Von Miller, 93. Joey Bosa, 92. His brother, 90. And then Zadarius Smith was an 89.
Darius Smith ain't no joke. The Ravens should have kept him.
Yeah,
He didn't play that well with the Ravens. He played like this, they would have let him leave.
Let me get to the defensive lineman pause.
Man, we already know number 1 is and number 2.
Okay, so here we go. Here's the lineman for the defensive lineman. Obviously, we know number 1 was the only 99. That's Aaron Donald.
Number 2 is most definitely Chris Jones.
No, it was Fletcher Cox. Pause. 94. Chris Jones, DeForest Buckner, and Cam Hayward were 92s.
Bruh.
Michael Pierce, 91.
Before you continue, that might be the craziest name I've heard in a long time. That name is wild. He's
Fletcher
for
Cox.
show. Yeah, he's for show from the country somewhere. That name is crazy. Go ahead.
Oh, he's from with the Mississippi State.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Go ahead.
Okay, so I said Chris Jones, DeForest Buckner, Cam Hayward, 92s. Michael Pierce, 91. Calais Campbell, 90. Kenny Clark, Stephon Tuitt, 89. And then Vita Vea was an 88.
Vita Vea is a problem. I knew he was a problem when he got drafted up over there. I'm like, man, this dude he ain't no joke.
So they also rank the top wide receiving duos in Madden.
Oh, God.
So you got the Buccaneers with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin.
Uh-huh.
Mark Your Bills with Stephon Diggs and Cole Beasley. The Titans with Julio and A.J. Brown.
That's absolutely insane. But go
The
ahead.
Seahawks with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. The Vikings with Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson. The Rams with Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp. The Browns with OBJ, Odell, and Jarvis Landry. And then the Washington football team with Terry McLaurin and Curtis Samuel.
They should be higher.
Um,
Browns are, but they have their quarterback is.
Okay, so they got Odell's at 89 and Jarvis was at 84.
Jarvis most definitely better than 84.
No pink. To answer your question.
let's go ahead and talk about these quarterbacks. Top 10 quarterbacks, according to Madden. Number 10 at 85, Matt Ryan.
Okay.
87, number 9,
No.
Ryan Tannehill.
No way.
87, number 8, Dak Prescott.
Time out.
Let me finish. 88, number 7, your boy Mark, Josh Allen. Number 6 at a 90, Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
90 at number 5 at 91 is Lamar Jackson. At number 4 at 94 is Russell Wilson. Number 3 at 96 is the reigning MVP, Aaron Rodgers.
That is ridiculous.
97, the GOAT,
Knock
the
it
birthday
off.
boy,
Knock it
Thomas
off.
Brady.
Knock it off.
And the only 99 quarterback, one Patrick Mahomes.
Yo. First and foremost, I cannot believe that I just heard that they have Ryan Tannehill as a top 10 rated quarterback in Madden. No way, no how, no. I will say this for forever. He is not that good. Ryan Tannehill, I guess.
Would you take him over Baker Mayfield?
No. Pause.
Mark?
No.
What you think on the ratings?
I got Aaron Rodgers as being the best quarterback in football.
Yeah, he is.
Tom Brady, as much as I like Tom Brady, he's not number 2
He's definitely not 97.
or 3.
No.
He might not even be 4 or 5. Currently.
B, you seem like you taking a little umbrage with something that's either being said or the ratings. Which one is it?
Yo, what's going on with all this blasphemy, man?
Tom Brady is not the second best quarterback in the league no more. No.
He said, I heard somebody say 4 or 5.
Is
Tom
he
Brady
better-
in the top 5 in the league right now?
Look, let me break it down.
Are y'all serious?
Listen,
He's
Is
top
he-
3 to me.
Is he better than Aaron Rodgers?
no. He's not.
Patrick
Is he better than
Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes? No.
Deshaun Watson.
No.
Yeah.
Not right now, no. Not right now, no.
Shit.
No,
I
no,
mean,
no.
Sorry.
Are you kidding? Are you serious?
Not right now,
Watson,
no.
I mean, he not even better than himself right now.
Man, imagine if Watson was over there at Tampa Bay. It'll be the same result. It'd probably be
Ru-
better.
It'd be a different
Russell.
case.
Russell.
Well,
Wilson.
it's legal over there.
He better than, was Brady better than Russell Wilson?
Huh? Right now, no.
So
No.
so let me get straight. Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers,
Mm-hmm.
Deshaun Watson,
Yes.
Russell Wilson. Is he better than Lamar?
Yeah, I'll put him over Lamar.
So you got him top. So you got him number 5.
I might have him at 5. Yeah.
Might.
Yeah, I got him at 5.
Wow.
I'll be back.
I don't care what Super Bowl he just won. No. He did not play. No. He did not play better than them other dudes. No way.
Okay.
Deshaun Watson put up better stats than him with nobody as his up on his line, nobody at receiver.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
I bet he got him now.
if y'all agree or
got
disagree with
different
me, leave a comment or DM us at Sports For You Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. All right, y'all ready to talk some? Y'all ready to do these 2-a-days?
Yeah.
Let's go. Fire up that NFL films one more time. Be ready. All right, let's start off with the NFC North. Since we're talking about Aaron Rodgers, let's start there with the reigning NFC North champion Green Bay Packers. So Aaron Rodgers returning. Obviously, we thought he wasn't gonna. There was all this drama since the draft about his future with the Packers and everything, but he's coming back. He's the reigning MVP.
They have a problem after this season, though.
But obviously, he negotiated basically his exit strategy from the franchise. And now we're waiting to see what happens with Devontae Adams and his contract. They just brought back Randall Cobb. Obviously, they 13-3 the last 2 seasons, and both ended with losses in the NFC Championship. It's time for Aaron Rodgers to
Get up out of there.
And what does this mean for the Packers? Obviously, Jordan Love is there, but obviously they didn't trade Aaron Rodgers. Now, there was talks that maybe they had a trade agreed upon, but they're not sold yet on Jordan Love, so they didn't trade him. What do y'all think about the Packers' expectations this year? Starting with you, Nick.
I expect them to win between 10 and 13 games again. Though I think they go 13-3 again. It's a possibility because I mean, they got Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. Their offense is going to be good. It's actually going to be better now. The fact that they've brought another receiver with Randall Cobb, who already has He got the connection with Aaron Rodgers already. The running game they got over there, they got a good offensive line. They have a pretty good pass rush over there. Their defense is it's not too bad. They have everything to be a championship team. It's just they just fell short a couple of years. It happens like that sometimes.
Mark, what's your expectation for the Packers this year?
I mean, like they normally do, man. Between 13 and 14 wins. NFC Championship game or the round before the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, that's what they do.
I mean that's what they do, man. That's like written in stone, unless it's an injury over there.
All right, let's talk about the next team in the NFC North. That's the Chicago Bears. Obviously, last year they made the playoffs. They lose in the wild card to the New Orleans Saints. They're done with the Mitch Trubisky era. Now they sign Andy Dalton, but they make the move in the draft to move up and draft Justin Fields from Ohio State. Obviously, right now, Andy Dalton is still penciled in as the week 1 starter, and I say penciled in because I think that ain't set in stone. If they saying that Justin Fields has been, basically outplaying him in practice, but I think Matt Nagy, he's trying to save his job. He doesn't want to play the rookie, and if he is responsible if something bad happened to this rookie, he won't make it through the season. So, I think he's coming in on a hot seat. Obviously, they have a new defensive coordinator. I think it's the first Indian-born defensive coordinator in the NFL.
I thought the other dude was.
Well, Saleh he's a Muslim American.
Oh, that's okay.
So they're obviously a new scheme. You still got Khalil Mack. They didn't get the Allen Robinson situation handled with the contract. He's playing under the franchise tag, so he could be playing motivated. But let's put an over and under. I'm gonna put the over under at 6 before we see Justin Fields make his debut as the quarterback for the Chicago Bears.
Who's all over there quarterback right now?
It's Andy Dalton, it's Justin Fields, and it's Nick Foles.
That's an interesting quarterback room.
That is.
I'm gonna be honest with you. With those names you just said, I don't think he gets a chance to go on week 6. Because look, you gotta think about it like this. Let's say, for example, they choose to go Andy Dalton route, right?
They are going Andy Dalton.
All right, so Andy Dalton doesn't work out. You got Nick Foles. So you have enough time. In all actuality, he may not even get a chance to even play this year unless they decide to go and just throw him into the fire if they have their season starts going bad, like about like week 14, or not week 12. Well, actually, because it's an extra game now. So yeah, like by week 14. If by week 14 they're not even just like say like playoff contention. If they're not even in a predicament where by that time they don't even have at least a chance at being at 500, I think you're gonna see him get thrown in around that time, because at that point you try both veteran options. So why not have the kid go up over here and see what he can do? And now you got something to build upon for next year. Got 4 games to look at, but okay, we see what he can do in these situations, especially if around that time they have games against good opponents.
Mark, what you think over under 6 games for Justin Fields?
I think that all depends on how the Bears start off. If the Bears start off 5-1, I don't think you're gonna see the rookie this year. However, I think if they start off like a 1-5, 0-6, or whatever it is, you're gonna see Justin Fields right then and there.
That's interesting that you said that, because last year I think the Bears started off like was it, or they like 5-1 at one point last year? Or something like they they started off good, and then they went like this losing streak. So it's like, what do you do if it gets to that point? Because it's like, you've seen what the team can do when they're good, but maybe it'd be something where you run across some opponents that's to be honest, they're just better than you, and that's the way it happens. And if it's some games where they're not getting blown out and they're just losing, I don't think they go to him immediately, because I think their defense is still good enough, even though they lost a lot on the secondary. I think their defense is still good enough to compete with any team, but it's all about their offense. That's been the whole issue since Khalil Mack's been up over there, to be honest.
All right, let's move down to the other team. We talked about them earlier. Obviously, they're in the news for all the wrong reasons. That's the Minnesota Vikings. Another year with Kirk Cousins, and obviously he's not in camp right now because he's in COVID protocols. Obviously, they Dalvin Cook had a great year last year.
Excellent.
was
Man.
had a great year last year. Justin Jefferson ended up being the steal of the draft. Obviously,
That was big for them too, considering that they just traded away Stephon Diggs.
They trade Stephon Diggs to Buffalo, and they get that first round pick, and he almost wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. Obviously, you still have Adam Thielen there.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Zimmer, obviously the defense first, but
Pretty
it all
good
starts
offensive line too.
yeah, and it all starts and ends with Kirk Cousins, unfortunately.
That's a sad case to say.
So with Kirk Cousins, obviously, and he just signed an extension. So what? I mean, are we near the end? Because they didn't move up for a quarterback. They didn't move up for a quarterback. Are we near the end of the whole Kirk Cousins experience?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Minnesota might be one of those teams. They might just, I don't know. They might keep Kirk Cousins to the end.
They should be close to the end. They should be close to the end of the Kirk Cousins fiasco.
It should have been over a couple years ago, but that's just me.
They shouldn't have given the money, to be honest.
But I mean, at the end of the day, man, what other option do they have, or did they have?
They really have none, per se. They really have no options.
They put themselves in a predicament. They're not going to get no options because they basically they have him eating up so much money to the point they can't really have no players over that's really sign any good players that they need to, or even use players to for trade assets. So it's like, I don't know. They're in a bad predicament.
And then there's the last team of the group, and that is the just pathetic Detroit Lions.
Yeah, they're
obviously now they
bite kneecaps.
traded. Well, I was getting there. Oh, we got some breaking news.
Uh-oh.
USA Sydney McLaughlin wins the 400-meter hurdles, sets a world record with 51.46 seconds. USA's Delilah Muhammad won the silver. So go ahead.
Let's go.
Let's go ahead, USA. By the way, USA and China are pretty much
running away,
running neck and neck in the medal count. So it can go either ways. One day USA's up, and the next day China's up, but we'll see.
Yeah, the Summer Olympics where we do our thing. Winter Olympics where we kind of
we slack.
We holler at everybody else.
Let's go ahead and get back to the line. So like I said they trade away Matthew Stafford finally to the Rams for Jared Goff and a couple picks. They have a new GM who came from the Rams, and obviously they now have a new head coach in Dan Campbell, who likes to bite kneecaps and don't give dudes toilet paper. Pause.
What?
You know something?
Y'all didn't hear the toilet paper story?
He
doesn't. He's saying he's not wiping your. You know what? Get out there.
Okay. He needs to get that same evaluation that Adam Gase should have got after that interview.
I mean, the dude said in his first press conference he's out there to bite kneecaps, like Mark just said. They knew what they were hiring.
What was he? Is he an offensive coach?
He was a tight ends coach. Pause that for the Saints. He was a former NFL tight. He wasn't like a star tight. He was a blocking tight end. He used to play with the Cowboys.
Makes a lot more sense now. That sounds like something like an offensive lineman or something would say.
So he was basically like an O lineman.
He was an extra lineman.
But yeah, he do. I mean, but y'all can't tell me dude don't look like dude from the Big Lebowski. Y'all can't tell me he don't, man. Hey, y'all can't tell me he don't look like dude from the Big Lebowski, man.
I used to say him and what's his name looked like him too. Rob Ryan. Rob Ryan for sure looked like him.
Oh man, he does look. Yeah. Rob Ryan does look well. Rex don't. Rob Ryan does look like dude.
Yeah,
he could pass with dude from Big Lebowski. Huh?
Well, Rex Ryan got a problem with feet, but that's a whole different story. Go ahead.
Oh. How about this? So now the Lions now going in a new direction with Jared Goff. They draft Penei Sewell.
Great draft choice.
They let Kenny Galladay go to the Giants. They still have T.J. Hawkinson, but obviously this is in a team that's in rebuild mode again.
Did they get another receiver? I could have swore they got somebody.
I cannot recall.
It doesn't matter. They hit the Lions. Look, if Calvin Johnson and Barry Sanders couldn't help them, boy, it's pretty much done for.
By the way, congratulations. Shout out to Megatron as he's getting inducted in the Hall of Fame this weekend. Pro Football Hall of Fame this Saturday and Sunday. Megatron. Yeah, so they're doing the 2020 class Saturday. That's the class that had Edrin James, Troy Polamalu, Steve Hutchinson, Isaac Bruce, my guy Steve Atwater, salute, Broncos, Jimmy Johnson, Bill Cowher. And then, by the way, Bill Cowher's going last. They announced the order of the speeches. He's going last, shockingly.
Oh, wow.
And then Sunday, the 2021 class.
Is that Drake?
I thought it was Tyron Woodley, but no, it wasn't. But also, then the 21-21 class, which Peyton. Oh, let's talk. Yeah, we don't talk about that. By the way, another story with the Vikings. They released their first-round pick from last year, Jeff Glandy, after he was charged with domestic violence today.
I mean, if he would have played like about, never mind, I can't talk about that. Go ahead.
But yeah, B brought up a story with the Panthers. There was an incident in practice today where basically a defensive receiver was hit by safety, and obviously this dude must be a guy at the end of the depth chart because they cut him right after practice.
Wait, they actually showed the hit?
If you look it up, it's on.
Send it to me.
It's on social media. It's not a pretty hit. The dude luckily he had no serious injury, so that's all. That's the best. Kenzie asks, "Is that movie worth watching?" Of course, it's worth watching.
What is?
The Big Lebowski?
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah, Big Lebowski's funny.
If you like sports movies, you'll like that movie.
Huh? They fired him. They cut him because it was a hit on a defenseless receiver. They said he had to be stretchered out.
Let me see. Go back. Let me see.
They thought he had lost feeling in his lower extremities. Yeah, look at it. Let me see. They stopped practice immediately when that play happened. They said he was defenseless. That's the reason why they stopped practice. They must say he. So
I have to see that from a different angle. It doesn't look that bad from what I just saw.
He must was a guy that was on. He must was on the bubble. That's why they pretty much said, you're done.
Oh,
now you see it.
Where he said he they said he lost feeling where
in his arms and in his legs. They thought he maybe almost could have been paralyzed
because it looked like he got hit like around his like around his sternum area.
He got They said he had movement in his lower extremities, but he had to get stretchered out immediately. Let's move on to the AFC. Fire up the music again, Ben. Ready? So now let's move over to the AFC North, and we're going to give our predictions for the divisions when we get our Super Bowl picks next month. Let's start off with the reigning champions, the Steelers, who are coming back a new look. Obviously, Ben Roethlisberger's probably in his final year.
Yeah, he's done.
They started out the season 12-0. We all find out. By the way, breaking news.
Uh-oh.
As we all know, Phillip Rivers is retired. And if y'all haven't heard the news, Carson Wentz, he's had foot surgery. Matter of fact, Quentin Nelson, their star left guard, had foot surgery. Phillip Rivers told the LA Times, if needed, he's ready to play. He's ready to come out of retirement if needed. He's coaching his son's high school football team. But if someone called him, he stays ready. Phillip Rivers, he's retired now, but he said he'd be ready to come out of retirement if needed.
There's no if needed. He's going to be on the Colts roster before training camp is over.
It wouldn't shock me.
It made the most logical sense.
Just bring Philly Riv back Bring Philly Riv back and let Carson Wentz just get healthy. But to the AFC North, I stay with the Steelers. They were 12-0, but it seemed like they were a fraudulent 12-0 because as soon as they get in the wild card, they lose 28-3 to the Cleveland Browns, and basically made Marquise Pouncey retire on the sideline. So now they have a new look offensive line. They draft Najee Harris in the first round. Sorry, Mark.
Yeah, that was a hell of a pickup for them.
Juju is coming back.
He's done after this year, though. On
a 1-year deal because he thought he was going to get more money elsewhere, but his market was not there. And obviously they're bringing back the defense. We just talked about Minkah Fitzpatrick, who's one of the best safeties in football. and obviously this is Big Ben's last year. It's time for the Steelers to put up or shut up. Stop living off the reputation of your name. Mike Tomlin is one of the best coaches in football. Do that man a favor and actually have some postseason success.
Yeah, pretty much. To think at one point they had possibly the best running back in the league and the best receiver.
They did.
With a top 5 quarterback in the league. Top 10.
Yeah. How many Super Bowls they win? How many playoff games?
I'm about to say, how many playoffs did they go to? Probably like 1.
That part.
That was a horrible waste of talent. Well, their defense was trash during that time too, so it's crazy how that works. Go ahead.
And so now, obviously, when Mike Tomlin, he's not going anywhere. Steelers don't fire coaches. So now the question is this it for Big Ben? I think this is it. They don't have the quarterback in waiting, even though they signed Dwayne Haskins. Don't believe that. He is not the quarterback in waiting. They're starting Mason Rudolph Thursday in the Hall of Fame game. That just shows you how much they think of Dwayne Haskins. Pretty much.
Because Mason Rudolph is terrible.
Yeah, he's garbage too.
Yeah, oh man.
So let's go to another AFC North team. The team that could win it all. And let's talk about the Baltimore Ravens. So the Baltimore Ravens, and by the way, they're also having COVID issues. Lamar Jackson, he's in COVID protocol.
Again. That's the second time testing positive.
It's like, yeah, he was in there last year, and now he's in a training camp. They drafted Rashad Bateman,
who is an absolute. Oh my God, he's gonna be crazy for.
By the way, they showed a play in practice. I
know exactly what you're talking about.
He told Marlon Humphrey, "Yeah, I'm going this way. You stay here." And Marlon Humphrey is a good cornerback, but
top 10 in the game.
They're going to, with the running back by committee, they got J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards. They still got Mark Andrews, one of the best tight ends, but they traded Orlando Brown. Number one, if you're going to trade a disgruntled offensive lineman, don't trade him to the team that just won the entire conference, please. They traded Orlando Brown Jr., the son of Ravens legend Orlando Brown Sr., a.k.a. Zeus, to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Bruh.
Right, the one thing the Kansas City Chiefs didn't have an issue with was the offensive line last year.
Look.
And you just gave them a Pro Bowl left tackle.
I don't get the fact of that he plays right tackle.
Well, he's going to be a left tackle in KC, but he was a right tackle because Ronnie Stanley was the left tackle, and unfortunately, he got hurt.
Ooh, sorry about that. Yeah, he's a monster.
Right.
I don't.
What?
But I don't get some of the logic behind a lot of these teams what they do with trades. My thing is this. There's no way in the world that I'm going to help the team that's good already. Pretty much back-to-back Super Bowl. They won the AFC Championship 2 years in a row. Right. I'm not going to go help back-to-back AFC champs, especially when I have to play this team if I want to go to the Super Bowl. That makes no sense.
Yeah,
that's
you should have sent them out of the conference.
Thank you. That's just like what Greg Popovich did with Kawhi. Why would I trade him, to somebody within the conference or even somebody I'd end up playing in the playoffs?
He got Kawhi deported.
He showed, for real. He sent him out the country.
Kawhi deported. That's crazy.
Yeah, come on, that's what you got to do though.
Have San Antonio made the playoffs since then?
They have actually. They made it once.
Yeah, and then you think about also they brought in Sammy Watkins because they obviously struggled at the receiver spot, and now it's all on Lamar.
Sammy Watkins ain't gonna help that much.
Obviously, they've been the best. They've been the number one running offense since Lamar's been a starter, but they've been the worst passing offense. It's it's pretty hit or miss with Lamar on the passing game. He's going to have to be if the run game isn't going and he can't scramble like he's on his Madden 22 stuff. They're pretty much vulnerable.
Who was in charge of the passing game over there? Over there with the Ravens.
I think his name is David Culley.
Where does he coach now?
He's now the head coach of the Houston Texans.
Continue.
On to the Cleveland Browns. So the Cleveland Browns, who had their first playoff appearance in years, won their first playoff game in almost 2 decades.
Boy, oh my God.
They have
Steelers are trash.
They have a
game.
talent, and more talent. Obviously, Baker, it all rides with Baker Mayfield. They have this running back monster with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Obviously, they're getting Odell Beckham back from the torn ACL. You still got Jarvis Landry.
That's gonna be crazy.
They got Austin Hooper as the tight end. Don't forget, they're getting David Njoku back this year.
They sure are.
And they have a great O-line. Their defense led by Myles Garrett.
Is he still unhappy about being up over there?
I haven't heard anything new.
I guess since they went to the playoffs, he's gonna shut up.
By the way, that ain't gonna be. He's not gonna be the only player at that position. Pause from that draft who's returning. That's gonna be another. That's gonna be. We're gonna talk about that next week though.
Oh,
to the Super Bowl champs.
you talking about OJ Howard?
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week.
That's scary.
So their defense, obviously, Myles Garrett. They drafted Greg Newsome from Northwestern. They signed John Johnson. They signed Troy. They signed Troy Hill.
They got that linebacker from TCU that I thought the Raiders were going to draft.
They got the dude from Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, yeah, it's Notre Dame.
And obviously, and now the question is, and people been asking this question: can Baker Mayfield and Odell Beckham come on the same page?
What?
Pause, chill, man. Chill, y'all chill, man. No, y'all chill. Can they be on the same page? And obviously, you know, whenever Odell's not on the field, Baker seems to be more accurate. Obviously, you know, throwing either Jarvis Landry or Austin Hooper or maybe, you know, it's Kareem Hunt. But when it seems like he tries to get Odell the ball and it doesn't work.
The problem is that he does what any smart quarterback is supposed to do, which is when you have a receiver at the caliber of Odell Beckham, you try to give him the football as much as possible. But the bad thing is that he makes these stupid throws that he tries to do up over at Odell that thinks Odell will catch everything that's thrown up over there. Now, Odell has hands, but the thing is, if you overthrowing him or make these inaccurate passes, then you're not helping your quarterback out. And then sometimes he brain locks on trying to give Odell the ball, which compared to when he's not there, he's able to, like you said, yeah, exactly. So at that point, it's like, what do you want to do? Do you want to keep trying to make Odell just get these 100 catches and 1,500 yards and 12 to 15 touchdowns a year, or do you want to get 1,000 or 1,100 yards from Odell, about 8 to 10 touchdowns? But now you got Jarvis Landry, who got about the same amount, probably about 900 yards and a couple of touchdowns, and David Njoku, Austin Hooper. You know, you throw in, like you said, Kareem Hunt. You know, he has to figure out some way to spread the wealth while still giving Odell the football. And and you know that's what makes the great quarterbacks great, when they can do that.
And this is also going to be on Kevin Stefanski, the reigning coach of the year.
Drop a bomb for that man.
Yeah, the reigning coach of the year. Can he make this offense work with Odell, or eventually are they just going to have to say, you know what, we tried, and crazy as it sounds, trade Odell Beckham just for for Baker Mayfield's development? Because they have to make a decision on Baker Mayfield financially real soon.
Yeah, because he has to get paid. He's going to get paid.
They've already picked up his fifth-year option, but they have to make a decision if he's going to be one of these high-paid quarterbacks, or do they just wait and see, and maybe they franchise tag him 2 straight years to see if he's really legit, or are they going to just go ahead and give him the bag? But
I'm going to be honest with you. They're in a predicament where, don't get me wrong, they have a lot of talent, and talent is young.
Right.
But in the NFL, you can age a lot in 3 years. So in that aspect, if they're going to have to see immediately, because the window can close very fast.
Right.
Because eventually, let's just be honest, even though great as a talented team they are, they still may only be possibly the second or third best team in their division, record-wise. They may like the best team on paper, but when it's time for the records to come around, they still may not have a good record as the Steelers or the Ravens. So it's some competition over there, and eventually, Cincinnati, they have themselves a franchise quarterback. They got them a receiver over there now. Eventually, they're going to come around too. So, the window's open right now, and they need to capitalize, because in all honesty, defensive wise with their talent, they have enough pass rush to go after the Chiefs, and they actually have a secondary that's good enough to keep up with their receivers and and Travis Kelce. They have the defense that can I'm not saying neutralize them, but they have the talent. Oh my God, he got dropped. They got the talent on defense to most definitely keep themselves in the game.
100% agree. So now let's make some predictions, gentlemen. So every week we're going to predict who's going to be the season leader in certain categories, in passing, rushing, and receiving, and defense. So let's start off with the passing. Last year, Deshaun Watson was the leading passer at 4,823 yards. Who do we think will be the leading passer in the NFL this season?
Wait, hold on. Did y'all pick who y'all think was gonna win that division?
No, we're gonna save that for the end when we make our Super Bowl picks. So we're gonna go through all the divisions and then we're gonna make the pick. We're gonna make all the picks at once.
Okay.
So So who do we think will be the leading passer in the NFL? Last year was Deshaun Watson at 4,823.
You know who I think may be the leading passer?
Who is?
I think Mark Boyd might be the leading passer next year.
So you saying Josh Allen. So Nick says Josh Allen will be the leading passer next year.
Yeah, because I think, they saw what happened last year, and they go up the playbook a little bit more for him.
Mark, who do you think will be the leading passer?
Aaron Rodgers.
You saying Aaron Rodgers?
I ain't mad at that either.
Okay.
But thanks for the love, Nick.
Oh, yeah. Only because, look, let's be honest. Y'all got one of the coldest tandems. They was already having them do everything as far as passing and everything this year. But, it's a risk of me saying that as well because now, what they say you've been figured, they figured out now. They got tape on you now. So what's going to happen the next year? So that could be one of those things as well. But I think he's good enough and he's made the right strides to become better each year. He's gotten better each year he's been in the league.
From
what I've seen, he's been looking real good in camp.
That's good.
I'm going to say Matthew Stafford.
I wouldn't be surprised about that either.
And I think obviously with McVay, this offense,
I want to see them play. That's going to be crazy.
I'm gonna go with Matthew Stafford. So Nick has Josh Allen. Mark has Aaron Rodgers, and I got Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
All right. Who leads the NFL in passing touchdowns? Last year it was Aaron Rodgers at 48.
I actually think it may be Aaron Rodgers again. The fact that he had 48 touchdowns is crazy. 20 of them was from Devontae Adams.
I think
Yeah.
This is about to sound crazy. I think Tom Brady.
So Nick says Aaron. You said Aaron Rodgers again, Nick?
Yeah, I said Aaron Rodgers. Mark said Aaron Rodgers for passing yards. I said Aaron Rodgers for touchdown.
Okay, and then Mark says Tom Brady. I'm going. I think it's gonna be Mahomes. I think it's gonna be Mahomes. Much as I hate to see this, because that means he's probably gonna be. The Broncos are gonna probably be.
One of the teams he take it out on.
One of the victims of that. I'm gonna go with Patrick Mahomes.
We're most definitely gonna be
The Broncos will be a Vic Pauls, man.
He ain't talking. Never mind, I can't say that either. Go ahead. Man, yeah, I'm about to say something crazy. Man. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out when I get to the house.
What?
It's all about the verses. So the Locks.
Yeah, that I most definitely think Aaron Rodgers can do that again. I don't think he's gonna have 48 again, but I think he can still lead the league.
So now let's go ahead and get into what the show is really supposed to be about as we get in on our final segments of the day, and that's talk about these NFL next week. And that's our NFL two-a-days, ladies and gentlemen. Next week we're gonna talk about the NFC and the AFC South. So let's go ahead and get into this NBA. Let's get into this NBA, man. This NBA free agency. We'll recap the draft. We'll recap. So the draft obviously pretty much as we pretty much thought with the top three picks. Cade Cunningham went one to Detroit. Jalen Green went to to the Rockets. Evan Mobley went third to the to the Cavaliers. And then the surprise was the Toronto Raptors going 4, taking Scotty Barnes. And then at number 5, you had Jalen Suggs going to the Orlando Magic. But the talk of the night wasn't even the draft. It was the trade made that's been agreed upon between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Washington Wizards, which will send LA's own Russell Westbrook back to LA in a trade that sends Kyle Kuzma, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Montrezl Harrell, and the 22nd pick, Isaiah Jackson, to Washington. And by the way, the pick for Isaiah Jackson got sent to Indiana in a separate trade for Aaron Holiday. Let's start off with the picks. Pretty much not a surprise there, but a little surprised Toronto went with Scotty Barnes over Jalen Suggs. They said that Suggs didn't have a good workout, but I think Jalen Suggs might have ended up in a better situation if you look at it as for a young player.
Oh yeah, in a situation like that, yeah.
Because it's him, it's R.J. Hampton, it's Cole Anthony. Obviously, Markelle Fultz is still there. They have a new head coach and rookie head coach in Jamal Mosley.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, 7 out of head coaches that were hired were black. Only one white was Rick Carlisle, and he was a retread. So,
it's progress.
So I like that, but this obviously addressed the big news of that day, and that was the Russell Westbrook trade.
Yeah.
So I look at Russ as our resident Lakers fan. I like the trade. Now, before that, the Lakers were in talks with the Sacramento Kings for a deal for Buddy Hield. And it sounded like they were at the finish line making a trade, but then Russell Westbrook, the GM, Shami Shepard of the Washington Wizards, called the Lakers and called Rob Pelinka and said, you know what, Russ really wants to come back to LA, so we're going to trade him to. So we want to ask you, what can we do to get a trade done? And somehow, the Lakers' focus shifted from acquiring Buddy Hield to now acquiring Russell Westbrook. So, what was y'all first reaction to the trade for Russ coming back to LA?
I told you this off air. Don't get me wrong. Everybody gonna say I'm only saying this because I'm a Clipper fan, but if people talk to me about sports outside of this, they know I'm not biased when it comes to situations. I honestly think that I understand why they made this deal, because let's be honest, Russell Westbrook is most definitely a great player. You know, one of the greatest point guards that ever touched the basketball court. So, yeah.
Pause.
Yeah, that was insane.
Yeah.
But I honestly think when you people have to think about schemes and, you know, the way you're the fit for the team, and I don't think that Westbrook was the right choice, in my opinion. I think that Buddy Hield would have been great for the Lakers. The score that the Lakers needed. You know, he's consistent. He's a good 3-point shooter. He can score at all 3 levels. And you know, at the 2, that would have been perfect for him. He has a little bit of playmaking ability. A little bit. I haven't seen it too often, but I know I've seen it before. I remember how big of a prospect he was when he first came to the NBA. You know, he was one of those prospects that everybody's like, oh man, he's pretty much whoever he goes to, he's going to be balling with. Because everybody knew how good of a player this dude was. He's a hard worker, and I think he would have been perfect for the future of the Lakers.
Right.
You know, I think the Lakers made a lot of these moves for right now.
Which is true.
Yeah, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, you have a dude like LeBron on your team, you got to win right now. But I think if you want to make something for the future, that most definitely would have been a trade that would have worked, because now you would have had another scorer with Anthony Davis for the future. But for right now, I guess it'll work. But I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if Russ is going to make these little these decisions and this bad shooting that he has. You know, the Lakers need shooting and they needed defending and playmakers. They got a playmaker, somewhat, Russell Westbrook. You know how I feel about his playmaking abilities. I know he can do it, but he has those moments where he passes the ball only because he can't shoot or it's within like 3 seconds left on the shot clock. But I don't know. This is going to be I don't know. This is really going to test Frank Vogel as a coach, in my opinion. And you already know I don't think Frank Vogel's that good of a coach anyways, but I think his coaching most definitely going to be tested this year.
Mark, what did you make of the trade?
I loved it for the Lakers, man. It gives the Lakers that player on the court that can create his own and don't need LeBron or Anthony Davis. As much as I agree with Buddy Hield being a big time shooter, he can't create his own like that, and that's what the Lakers need. I think that this shooting thing that everybody talking about, I think is highly overrated. Last 3 championships that
I agree.
we've seen teams win a championship. Nobody shot over 35% from the 3-point line. It's highly overrated.
That was the last 2 NBA champs, by the way.
I think
You already know how I feel about that. I already said something about that.
I think that Russ is an underrated defender as well. So this could actually fit into what the Lakers want to do, and we know what happened with the roster, but at that moment we didn't know how the roster was going to end up formulating. But just the trade alone, I think it was a really good trade for the Lakers. They got better. I don't know if they better than Brooklyn, but they got better because of the Lakers needed somebody who can create something outside of LeBron. Bad.
Well, I look at it like this, and obviously I think everyone was being prisoner at the moment. Oh, the trade was horrible. Blah 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 blah. Who can't? Russ can't shoot. Who's gonna shoot the threes and everything? I'm like, look here.
It's not a horrible trade. No, there's no way. I think that the other trade would have been better for but it's still not a bad trade.
And I'm like this. And Mark just brought it up. You look at the last 2 NBA champs were the Lakers and the Bucks. They both shot about 35% from 3. And basically their finals MVPs were basically guys who dominated in the paint. Pretty much. Giannis and LeBron. Or even Anthony Davis to a lesser degree.
But the big difference was even though those teams weren't shooting well, they could still put up shots. And those teams were very good defensive teams. And they were very long teams.
I think this is going, and I think obviously that's why I tell people, look, y'all have to wait to see what the rest of the Lakers roster is before y'all judge this trade. The Lakers only had 4 players under contract, so I understand everyone saying, oh, they didn't address the shooting. I was like, well, they still got free agency, and they obviously addressed that. So let's talk about free agency, because yesterday and today there's been a lot of money handed out in the National Basketball Association, starting first with Lonzo Ball, getting 4 years, $85 million from the Chicago.
Yeah, man. Yeah, shout out to Zoe, man.
Getting that 4 years, $85 million signing trade from the Chicago Bulls.
UCLA backcourt.
Now he joins Zach LaVine. And then, obviously, another notable signing yesterday was Kyle Lowry. He's going to Miami, 3 years, $90 on a signing trade.
That was a great pickup by Miami.
They re-signed Duncan Robinson.
Was it?
Overpaid.
Was it a good pickup by Miami?
That was a good pickup. I think they overpaid for Duncan Robinson horribly.
By the way, Duncan Robinson now the highest paid player ever, undrafted player in NBA history at 5 years, $90 million.
That is crazy.
But I think probably one of the worst contracts, and people ain't going to like it, but I thought the Chris Paul contract was stupid. I'm sorry. I'm glad the Lakers didn't make I was hoping if the Lakers just traded for him, he just opt in and we'll take the $44 million. But they signed him for 4 years, $120 million. That's a lot of price for leadership. But that's the Phoenix Suns being a horrible organization as well.
I don't think it was that bad.
He's under contract till he's 40.
I mean, here's the whole thing. If you got to think about it from their perspective, Phoenix has been terrible for a long time, and they see that they have opportunity in their eyes to go back to the ship and at least compete they know that they're in a predicament to compete, so they want to try and keep that because they have to keep him because let's just be honest, who they going to replace Chris Paul with?
That's true. I mean, I understand they had to do it, but I think, man, they could at least, man, I would at least 3 years, 100, maybe 3 years, maybe maybe it's the length of the years. I mean, if it was just like a 3-year deal, maybe a 2-year to opt out.
They want him to retire on as a Phoenix Sun.
Well, that's going to happen. I thought one of the worst contracts outside of Chris Paul was Evan Fournier with the Knicks, 4 years, $78 million. I mean, come on, Knicks, don't backtrack, man.
I thought you were gonna say Luau Deng.
Well, he's still getting paid.
Yep, getting the fourth highest salary on your team.
Yeah, he's getting $5 million this year. He'll be off the contract. He'll be off the books this year. Thank God. Finally.
Luau Deng and Bobby Bonilla.
Right. Yeah, Luau Deng and Bobby Bonilla probably the smartest contracts. Have the smartest agents in NBA history.
I don't know. What's the name had a pretty good smart agent too. Gilbert Arenas.
Well, yeah, he
still
him.
Who else? Allen Houston.
I have another question about maybe did I put this on call? I gotta see did I have them listen on calling out names? No, okay, I didn't. But if you're Dwayne Wade and you see Jimmy Butler gets 4 years, $184 million, you're like, so Pat Riley, you really just didn't want to give me that same contract when I asked for it? Well, not that number in particular, but when.
What year was that? The year that he left and went to Cleveland?
The year he left and went to Chicago first.
I mean, let's be honest. If he would have given him that contract, he would have overpaid for him. He wouldn't have performed up to that contract.
I know. Well, Kobe didn't play up into his final contract either. He was and I just don't believe in letting your legends go, man. That's just me. Maybe that's just me, but
man, look, if Hakeem Olajuwon can leave,
I know
it's possible.
I know it's possible. But I think it's just sometimes some deals you just supposed to just do just off principle, but I get it. So let me ask you guys this, and then we'll focus on the Lakers. I know that seemed to be the talk about everyone's talking about the Lakers. So
they signed the most people.
So what was the move? What was the best move y'all saw yesterday? Right, real quick, rapid fire. What was the best move you saw in the last today and yesterday?
I like the Lonzo move. I actually like the Caruso sign too. Even though Chicago said they infatuated with point guards, but I honestly like that move. I like the moves that Miami made too. They made up for. They finally got rid of Dragic and his contract and him being the player that he is. They got him off the books.
That's a good move.
I think I'm pretty sure I think they should have kept Dunn, but I understand why. I mean, after all these moves you made, it was pretty much impossible to keep him. Mark, and if he was going to be in a rotation anyways.
Mark, what were some moves you liked?
Honestly, man, and it's a small move, and Nick called it, man. But Malik Monk.
Yep, I sure did.
I like. That
was a steal.
I like the Malik Monk. I like Kent Bazemore. But my favorite one might have been like Nick said, man, Lonzo, man. I think that's a good fit for him, man.
Yeah, because I already said last year I think the Bulls will go to the playoffs anyways with the whole dynamic of having Vucevic with Levine, exactly. But you bring a point guard over there like Lonzo's gonna set up their shots for him, and that's also gonna help Lauri Markkanen too, who's a shooter. So now he got already said he's gonna be cool because he got to worry about playing in the paint no more. Go ahead,
Bulls. Don't play around with Zach Levine's money.
Nah,
y'all better get that done. Go ahead.
Yeah. Y'all better figure that out. Don't let that man leave. He leave, it's over. Unless you're preparing for him to leave.
Okay, so outside the Laker moves, we'll get into. Mm-hmm. I didn't like the Lonzo move. I thought he deserved it. I'm glad for him. Obviously, a little biased because he was the Laker draft pick. Mm-hmm. Another move I was saying, like, obviously, I'm leaving all the Laker moves separate from my opinion, from me. Obviously. Mm-hmm. I liked obviously Caruso. That's another. I'm biased there as well. But I liked Derrick Rose.
Yeah, that was a good signing too.
3 years, 43 from the Knicks. I liked it that one. What's up?
This is just me saying this, but Chicago, I understand that Caruso's a very good player. But you most definitely could have used that money and found a little bit more money somewhere and gave it to Derrick Rose.
Brought him home.
Bring him back home.
They
I'm sorry. There's no way. When I saw what Derrick Rose signed for, I said Chicago could have signed him for that.
They could have.
They really could have. I think Derrick Rose in Chicago gonna happen one more time.
I
It's
don't.
possible. What was a
don't.
move
I
that
think-
made you shake your head like? Go ahead, Mark.
Oh, I was about to say, I think Derrick
You don't
Rose will
think
stay
you don't
with
think D
Tibbs.
Rose? I
Yeah.
kind of see that. Yeah.
That is true.
Ben Ready, you gave us all these. You want to forward all these contracts to us. Shout out our super producer. Was there a move that you liked that you saw from all the ones you read?
All the ones that helped Bron get another championship.
Oh, okay. We're definitely gonna talk about that in a minute.
What about the Tim Hardaway re-signing?
Oh yeah.
What happened?
Oh, he's waiting. He's waiting on Luka to sign that supermax. That's
Man, you see this face? I am unhappy with everything they did right now.
What?
Everything.
even
I don't
re-signing
even
Bo-
like. I don't even like Tim Hardaway no more.
even
He's
re-signing Boban.
I mean, get on out of here, please.
done. Man, look.
Oh, I'm just saying. Okay.
It's not John Wick.
Okay. Oh wow. So give me a move that made you shake your head. Like, what was this team doing, man? What were you thinking?
Ooh, I'm trying to
So I
think.
kind of in mind. I think it was the Knicks giving Evan Fournier $78 million.
I can see why they gave him that much money. He's a good scorer. You know, he can give them like somewhere between 15 and 17. That's good for what they need for like a wing scorer up over there.
Okay.
He can shoot the ball. He can spread the floor. But I'm trying to think. I don't know how much I like the signing of Hassan Whiteside going to Utah.
Well, if he just comes in there and knows that he's the backup to Rudy Gobert, he'll be all right. Don't come in there thinking that you're Miami Hassan Whiteside, you're Portland Hassan Whiteside. No, those days are gone, Playboy.
Yeah,
You got your
yeah.
$100 million and you basically win in the tank. Pause. Mark, what was the move that made you think what was the team doing?
I know it's for nostalgic principles and purposes and stuff, but the Lakers signing Trev. I don't know what Trev brings. No more at this point.
Yeah, I kind of have to agree. Yeah, they've been trying to get him up over there to the team like the past 2 or 3 years for some apparent reason.
Well, who was his former agent?
Well, that set up that.
I can say right now. So
Yeah, that settles everything. No wonder.
So let's talk about the Lakers. So the Lakers, obviously,
Hey,
everyone,
John,
they
hold
bring
on.
up. What's up, man?
Hey, the funniest move is Andre Drummond going to Philly.
Oh my God!
And they brought up a tweet from 3 years ago when Joel Embiid called him a bump.
Yeah, he's going there to be Joel Embiid's backup, which is
That's hilarious. to me.
okay.
But
I see
anyway,
what
go
you're
ahead.
saying. Okay, so let's talk about the Laker moves. So okay, obviously I was down with the Russ trade. Call me crazy. What's up?
I forgot about one signing that had me like, what in the world is going on?
What's this?
When the Spurs signed Doug McDermott.
They had he. By the way, Doug McDermott, 3 years, $42 million.
Yeah,
14
I don't see that. I'm sorry. That was one of them. I forgot about that move.
They signed Zach Collins too.
That sounds very San Antonio-ish. If Tim Duncan and Kawhi Leonard were still there, a lot of those moves make a lot more sense. But hey,
Yep.
go ahead.
So I'm looking at the Lakers. So obviously they started yesterday. They bring back Trev, like Mark just said. Obviously he's former Rob Pelinka was his former agent. He's former Laker. They started yesterday just going on the Lakers reunion tour, bringing him back. Wayne Ellington, Tar Heel represent, should never left. Dwight should never left. Kent Bazemore, obviously, and that was kind of a shocking move. I didn't see that one. But then today, everything they did today was just, to me, was out the park. Signing Melo, nice. Signing Malik Monk, probably to me the biggest steal in free agency is Malik Monk on a 1-year veterans minimum prove-it deal to get him back, into having a good reputation in the NBA.
Y'all honestly had 2 steals.
And that's what I'm getting to. I'm getting to that one too. Kendrick Nunn for $5 million when he could have got $7 million from the Knicks. Obviously, he was a restricted free agent, but then the Heat rescinded the qualifying offer when they re-upped Duncan Robinson and they signed Kyle Lowry. So they didn't need an extra point guard, and obviously, so now he became a free agent this morning. And then the Lakers, Rob Pelinka, y'all gonna learn to respect this man. This man wasn't just Kobe's best friend and agent for nothing. This man is a basketball genius, and y'all better recognize he was part of the Fab Five. Not one of the Fab Five, but he was part of the Fab Five. So y'all better respect that. So I love the moves the Lakers made, obviously, to put nice role players around.
Let's see.
LeBron, AD, and Russ. And I still think, and this is crazy, I still think there's some way they're going to find a way to get another player in there in a sign and trade for Dennis Schroeder. Call me crazy. I still think they can get a Buddy Hield deal done. They're going to have to pay a lot of taxes in the long run. I think that. Go ahead, Mark.
I said that today. I read that somewhere that Buddy Hield and Marvin Bagley.
I think the only reason they're waiting till the start. Yeah, go ahead. You said Bagley and Buddy. Yeah, I was saying I think they're waiting for the start of free agency. Officially you sign players Friday morning. I think Rob has something up his sleeve. He's waiting, and obviously because Dennis Schroeder basically outpriced himself. He could have had the $84 million from the Lakers, and thank God he didn't sign it.
I would say, yeah, that's definitely benefiting y'all right now.
Because now all the money's pretty much gone. Pretty much.
Yeah, it's done for.
If you was trying to go to the Knicks, their money is gone. You was trying to go to the Bulls to reunite with Billy Donovan, their money is definitely gone after the day.
Yeah, their money done.
I mean, you can maybe go to the Spurs. I don't know about. I mean, I don't know. I think Rob has a deal working up his sleeve that we just ain't knowing yet.
Speaking of Spurs, that Patty Mills signing to the Nets was a good signing too.
I wanted him on the Lakers.
Man, I wanted him anywhere besides over there with the Nets.
We was trying to sign him, but the Nets. We offered him what the Nets offered him, but he chose Brooklyn over LA. But
must be San Antonio thing.
Oh man, that one really.
I know why he signed over there.
Why is that?
Man, after that game against Team USA, Kevin Durant had a conversation with him.
By the way, that game is tomorrow too. They play again. They play again tomorrow in the semifinals.
Yep.
Well, thank you, KD. And we'll talk more free agency. Vegas Summer League starts Sunday, so we'll definitely be watching that live while we're taping sports for you next week. We'll obviously have more free agency news next week, as obviously deals can be officially signed on Friday. We'll probably hear from Russell Westbrook when his first official appearance as a Laker. But let's go ahead and get into our final segment of the day. It's time to call out some names. Obviously, often imitated, never duplicated. This is a segment where people say things that we disagree with, but we have to call them out because it makes no sense. Ben ready? I'm gonna resend a video to our Telegram chat. I want you to play. Let me find it. Obviously, it was something that happened over the weekend, and I need to discuss in calling out names. But man, this was just a crazy. There was a lot going on over the weekend in the world of sports. Yeah, hold on. Let me find it first. I want to find it first. But I think it was a lot. I think let me find it. Okay, I'm about to tweet it out. Find it on Twitter. So I'm gonna start off one thing. That's NBA Twitter.
Uh-oh.
Because I know a lot of people on NBA Twitter was just really down on the Russell Westbrook trade, and the Lakers did this. The Lakers didn't go ahead and try to find no shooting and this and that. I'm like, well, let me tell y'all something. Y'all really think the Lakers? You think Rob Pelinka was just going ahead and just trade for Russell Westbrook and not trying to find other players to put around him, LeBron James and Anthony Davis? No, they were just gonna stay with him, them three, and Marc Gasol and Alfonso McKinney, and basically bring Jared Dudley back, and that's gonna be the team that leads them to the finals. Absolutely not. Okay, I just found it. Okay, so I'm gonna send it to you right now, B. So NBA Twitter, stop being so emotional, please. God, I mean, we need to stop reacting. I know we live in this reaction world where we got to react to everything instantly because of social media, but let's just chill, please. I'm gonna say that one for last. Okay, my next one, I'm calling out John Skipper. We also know who John Skipper is. He used to be the former president of ESPN. He's now running the Zone. He was on Dan Le Batard's show the other day, and he said he believes one day we're going to have a pay-per-view Super Bowl.
Are you kidding me?
No.
That'll be the dumbest thing the NFL ever do.
Let me be perfectly clear. The NFL is not doing that. They're on national TV.
What they need to be on pay-per-view for?
The only issue
Are you kidding me?
The only problem NFL has is that they're still playing Monday Night Football on ESPN and not playing it on ABC. So, all due respect, Mr. Skipper, you're wrong. You're not finna have no Super Bowl for having no Super Bowl on pay-per-view. I'm sorry. All right, the next one, and I'm gonna let him ready to play this video. I'm calling out the UFC. This is a video from UFC fighter Cheyenne Buys after she finds out some news about her pay after the fight over this weekend at UFC Vegas 33. Go ahead and play that, Ben. Ready?
I think sometimes, because we talk to fighters every week, we sometimes forget how much a difference that 50 grand can make for your life. What impact is that going to have on you?
I am negative in my account right now, so it's going to make a big difference. And my whole paycheck actually is I have to pay back $15,000 for a loan I got from a few people. So, you know, I made 10 and 10 from my win and show, so that 20,000 was just gone. So, and I was okay with it. I was okay if I won and that check was gone, because I made the move out here, and I knew that this fight was just going to be for the move, but it was the best decision me and my husband made for our careers, and just to get that bonus. I've been so broke my whole life because of this sport, but it's so worth it to me because I love this sport. But to get a $50,000 paycheck, you know, my husband's going to tell me to put it away. I'm definitely going to want to buy some nice stuff, but, you know, I like to buy a little bit of things for the house and for my animals. I really like to spoil my family, but, you know, this week I'm definitely taking my team to go get a nice dinner. So it's life-changing for sure, but I just, you know, got to put the money away and just go out there and fight again.
The reason I'm calling out the UFC is for one reason, and I want to thank the great Arash Markazi for tweeting this. UFC is in the third year of a 5-year, $1.5 billion deal with the stream UFC fights on ESPN+. If I'm not mistaken, 1.5 billion divided by 5 is $300 million a year. And you got this fighter, and I guarantee you she's not the only one, male or female, who practically are living from fight to fight. And y'all are getting a 1.5 billion from TV, from ESPN, and probably from Fox, but definitely from ESPN, we know. Because you're in a 5-year partnership with ESPN and you're getting $300 million a year, which equals 1.5 billion over the next 5. And yet this fighter who just got a $50,000 payday, 20 of it's already gone, is overdrawn because of her trying to pursue her dream as a UFC fighter. Dana White, what are y'all doing? There's more UFC fighters than Conor McGregor. There's no more. I mean,
garbage.
There's more than Ronda Rousey's. There's not only Ananda Nunez's or Khabib's or Nagano's or Tyron Woodley's. Y'all treat these fighters with some respect, man.
Are you kidding me?
50,000 and y'all getting 1.5 from ESPN and she's overdrawn?
Are you kidding me?
That's a problem, man.
Yeah, that's bad. That's not good at all.
I'm done.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Anytime, and you know, and with that, it's not even just the you know, certain people be like, you know, it's not like how it is with the WNBA, NBA, where you know maybe the males bring in more money for the sport compared to the women's sports. And for the UFC, it's pretty much even because we just watched a fight. Well, it was a bare knuckle league, but watching the women fighters, they're just as good as the dudes. And be honest, they fight harder.
Yes.
So, you know, there's no reason why, but I've heard that same exact story about UFC from a couple of fighters, you know, not just women fighters, but men fighters as well. That they get severely underpaid. That's the reason why a lot of people don't like doing business with him.
Mark, what you think about that here in that video, bro?
Man, that's heartbreaking, man. Like you said, everything that she is in the negative, trying to pursue her dream, and they over here getting 1.5 billion. You said
1.5 billion over 5 years from ESPN Plus.
That's ridiculous.
That's 300 million a year.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
What you
That's
think,
crazy. That's sad.
Well, first and foremost, I'm not on the stand telling my business like that, like the whole rundown. But
Right.
at the end of the day, when they like some of these people can possibly die in these rings,
Yeah.
you know, and they're fighting for scraps. I mean, and also, I'm not that deep into UFC, so I don't know. I don't know what type of name she is.
This is one of the, you know, fights that you probably see on TV. This is one of like the underdog fights.
But
okay.
But it's one of those things where like she's an up and coming fighter, so that was a big win for her. So with that win, it could possibly take her to the next level.
Right. And that was a big win.
Yeah, that was a very big win for her.
So I mean, you have to start somewhere. Of course, you're going to be broke. You a beginner, just like all musicians and all other entertainers. They start off. You take an L in the front. That's your biggest L is gonna be the start off, because you're gonna put all your bread up front, and you're gonna do X, Y, Z, and you know, I mean, it's normal. You have to start somewhere.
You take what in the front?
That L.
Stop it. You got
Take that L up front.
Pause, man.
You know what I'm saying? L train.
Oh wow.
No. So at the end of it, man, I'm glad she's able to get out the hole. Pause. And continue to provide for her family. The good thing is that was after a fight, right?
Yeah.
So she didn't look bad. So she earned that pretty well. Like she wasn't that I seen. She wasn't
this was
red
Saturday.
and bruised up, black eye, busted. Like she looked like I thought that was before the fight.
No, she got the dub.
Yeah, I see clearly. She clearly caught the dub.
Yeah.
Hello,
Mark. You got anybody else calling out names?
Yeah, it's a group of people. It's not nobody in particular. It's just a group.
Go ahead.
The people who saying now LeBron is washed, AD is injury prone, Russ is trash, and then when or if the Lakers win a championship, they're gonna be saying it was a super team. You gotta pick a struggle. You gotta pick which one it is.
I thought you know something. I thought you were just talk about the NBA. The Lakers are old team people. Go ahead.
Oh no,
I agree. I agree with that, because I want the people to say they're old too, but I know an old team can win.
Right.
But the thing is that, you know, they always change the narrative up when LeBron is involved.
Of course.
You know, these players are whatever players on their other teams, but when they go to LeBron, all of a sudden they act like this person is like the best player at his position. Like I'll give you a prime example. You remember how who was that? Even with Dennis Schroeder, nobody was talking. You know, everybody was like, Dennis Schroeder's all right. You know, all the other little stuff. You know, the Lakers get him. Oh my God, the Lakers got Dennis Schroeder. Oh my God.
Are you kidding me?
You know, all that stuff.
Man, he can go somewhere. He can go somewhere now.
Yeah, of course. But that's just how it is. Even I can give you the perfect example of that right now. The perfect example of something like that is Ray Allen. Every time somebody brings up, I hate when they talk, they be like, LeBron got these superstars, and one of the first people they bring up is Ray Allen. Ray Allen was old as hell when he was over there with LeBron. He couldn't even get a starting spot over Avery Bradley in Boston. That's why he left.
Pretty much.
So, you know, anytime LeBron gets any player that has some type of skill set or any type of name or something, it gets blown out of proportion. You know, you got to look at what it is right now. Even with Dwight Howard, they're like, oh my God, they got Dwight Howard. All right, Dwight Howard is still a very good player. We know he's a Hall of Fame player. Stop acting like Dwight Howard is like Joel Embiid right now.
He's not.
Exactly. You know, just because all these players came together doesn't mean it's going to work. It's a possibility it could work, of course. That's for anybody. It's 50-50 at this point. Let everybody play and see how this team is going to work. That's all I got to say about that one. Because, yeah, that's, and I'm a Clippers fan, and I'm seeing this stuff. I'm like, man, a lot of these people who over there saying this stuff were just talking trash about Russell Westbrook, or the people that was saying that was just saying how Anthony Davis can't do nothing on nobody's team and blah, 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 this and that. And all the narratives get changed as soon as LeBron gets a good teammate or a teammate that people deem is good.
That's all you got, Mark?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Nick. You got anything for calling no names?
Yes, I do. Steve Ballmer.
Oh, boy.
It's not anything bad. I'm giving you a suggestion. Figure out this Kawhi situation and sign Reggie Jackson. That's all I have to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's calling out names. All right, we're going to get up out of here real quick. I want to say shout out everybody who's doing podcasts, everyone who supports Sports for You, supports Townhouse Media.
Most definitely.
All the other podcasts who's shouted us out, obviously know you are. Appreciate you.
Yes.
Keep following us on the social, Facebook, Sports for You Podcast, Townhouse Media Now, Instagram, Sports for You Podcast, Townhouse Media Now, and subscribe to Townhouse Media on YouTube.
And if you want to help us financially, it's Cash App is $NYNEBIZ.
This guy, man. By the way, that was by the way, Kenzie Axe was the beat for calling out names a Nick Freeze beat, a 9-9 beat.
No, that wasn't me.
Okay.
We gonna get one from Nick,
that will happen very soon.
Huh?
I said we gonna get a beat from Nick though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait.
Pause.
Wait. Hold on, everybody.
Hold on.
Everybody chill.
A beat. Oh, crap.
Yeah. We got
Okay, yeah.
we got no rules tomorrow, brothers.
I believe so. Yeah, I think so. Do we?
Y'all know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I gotta
Yeah.
recap this. Y'all gotta recap the verses tomorrow. The recap
Hey,
the verses.
Man, from what I've seen, it's been a slaughterhouse.
Everyone, that's what I'm seeing in the text that they
Shout
said
out
the
to Slaughterhouse,
Locks are.
too.
They said the Locks are showing no mercy. They're saying
Hey,
that
before-
Cameron,
before-
Joels, and Jim gonna dip right back to the set.
Hey, before we get up out of here, I do have a question. We can talk about it next week.
What's up,
Yeah.
brother?
John, because we was talking about it in our group chat, dog. Nick and B, a better athlete, Bo Jackson or Deion Sanders?
Oh boy.
You don't answer it now.
You know where I stood. I said Dion.
You don't have to
But
answer
I
that. You can wait till next week. You can wait till next week.
I was getting. We will talk about, and then another thing we're gonna talk about. Did y'all see the Kendrick Perkins tweet?
What'd he say?
The one I sent in the chat about if they retire today, who's had the better legacy out of KD or
That's
Giannis?
who I'm supposed to put on calling out name. That's for next week, everybody.
So we'll talk about that next week. We'll talk some Vegas Summer League, the rest of the free agency, MLB. We'll have our two-a-days for the NFC and the AFC South. We'll recap the Pro Football Hall of Fame, the Hall of Fame game, and obviously preseason football starting next week. Training camps are wrapping up, so make sure get ready. It's time. Fans are back. Football's back.
Let's go.
Summer League is going on in Vegas. MLB is wrapping up the season. College football is going to be coming real soon, Pauls. So just, be ready. Sports for You, we're not going nowhere. We'll see y'all next Tuesday. Same time, same channel, same social media. I'm John. That's Nick Freeze. That's being ready. That's Mark. This has been episode 60 of Sports for You.
All right.
Congratulations, players. Keep getting them bags. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.